The peaceful world of Heartland is about to be shattered forever. In a season where love, loss, and loyalty are tested to their limits, Heartland's Season 19 finale delivers a gut-wrenching twist that no one saw coming. As the family faces their most difficult choices yet, one question echoes through the ranch. Will they survive the final goodbye? Secrets, betrayals, and an unresolved past loom large in this emotionally charged chapter. Buckle up. The end of this journey is coming, and it will change everything. For years, Heartland has been a place of hope, healing, and family. But with Season 19, it's clear that the quiet rhythm of life on the ranch is about to be upended in ways no one could have predicted. The season begins like any other, with the family coming together to face the challenges of daily life at Heartland Ranch. Amy and Ty, stronger than ever, continue their shared mission to help horses, heal their community, and raise their daughter, Lindy, who's growing up fast. But beneath the surface, the cracks are starting to show. Ty's return had already set the stage for emotional turbulence, but now, as the dust begins to settle from his surprising reappearance, the aftermath of his disappearance is becoming harder to ignore. Despite Ty's heartfelt apologies and attempts to make amends, Amy finds herself battling with a storm of conflicting emotions. The pain of those lost years lingers. And while the love between them is undeniable, the bitterness of betrayal casts a long shadow over their reunion. Amy's growth over the years has transformed her into a woman who no longer relies on Ty the way she once did, making her hesitant to fully embrace the idea of their family being whole again. Meanwhile, the rest of the Heartland family isn't immune to the tension. Jack, the stoic grandfather, feels a deep sense of anger and hurt. Ty, the grandson he raised as his own, left them all in the dark for far too long. Jack struggles with the idea of forgiveness, caught between his love for Ty and the devastation he felt when he believed Ty had died. Lou, the ever-pragmatic sister, approaches Ty's return with skepticism. She can't shake the feeling that something's not quite right. After all, Ty's disappearance was not just a simple case of a man walking away. It involved dangerous people, hidden secrets, and threats that could still loom over the family. She's protective of Amy and Lindy and is unwilling to let them get hurt again. As the family grapples with their personal emotions, a greater, more dangerous threat begins to surface, one that could tear everything apart. The peace that once defined Heartland is being threatened by the very people Ty thought he had left behind. Strange occurrences around the ranch begin to point to something sinister at play, but Ty insists on keeping the details of his past a secret, unwilling to drag the family back into the dangers he faced while in hiding. With the ranch in jeopardy and the bonds of family pushed to their breaking point, the tension begins to mount. Ty's enemies aren't just going to let him go free, and as his past catches up to him, the once strong relationships at Heartland begin to fray. Every step Ty takes towards reconciliation with Amy and the family is met with suspicion, fear, and doubt. The harder he tries to rebuild what was lost, the more it feels like it might be slipping through his fingers. His return, instead of offering solace, only brings more questions. Can Ty and Amy ever return to the life they once shared? Or has too much time passed, leaving their love irreparably damaged? And as the danger from Ty's past resurfaces, will the family be able to stand together in the face of everything that threatens to tear them apart? The stakes have never been higher, and as the season races toward its finale, everything is on the line. In the quiet, reflective moments between the chaos, a haunting realization emerges. Nothing will ever be the same again. The Heartland family is at a crossroads, and in this heartbreaking, bittersweet goodbye, the past, present, and future collide, forcing them to make impossible choices that will shape their lives forever. As the days pass, the weight of Ty's disappearance and the secrets he's been hiding grow heavier. The family, once united by love and shared purpose, is now divided by the ghosts of the past. Ty's return to Heartland might have reignited old flames of hope, but it's also stirred up painful memories that many had tried to bury. Amy, despite her attempts to stay focused on her work with the horses, cannot shake the feelings of abandonment. She questions everything she thought she knew about Ty, about their relationship, their future, and most of all, the truth behind his disappearance. While Amy is struggling to navigate the emotional labyrinth of betrayal and love, the rest of the family is beginning to feel the impact of Ty's return in their own ways. Jack, the once steadfast patriarch, is finding it impossible to reconcile the man before him with the person he thought Ty had become. His grief over losing Tai was profound, and now that he's been thrust back into this world, Jack feels the sting of that loss even deeper. His heart is torn between the joy of seeing Tai again and the unresolved anger that simmers beneath the surface. He can't understand why Tai didn't trust them enough to tell them the truth, why he left them to grieve for so long. Lou, on the other hand, is struggling with her role as a protector. She has seen Amy grow into a resilient woman, a mother who has carried so much weight on her shoulders without the support she deserved. Now, Tai's return has disrupted the fragile peace that Amy has built. Lou is unwilling to let the family fall apart again. She's protective of Amy and Lindy, but there's also a part of her that wants to know why Tai didn't come back sooner. What's the real reason behind his disappearance? And why is he keeping so many secrets? The questions begin to mount, and no one seems to have the answers. As Tai tries to explain his actions, he remains cryptic about the details of what happened during his years in hiding. He tells Amy that it was all to protect her, to protect Lindy, but the lack of clarity makes her feel as if she's being kept at arm's length. Every conversation with Tai is laced with tension, filled with both the longing to make things right and the fear that it's too late to fix the rift between them. Meanwhile, strange events continue to unfold at Heartland. It starts with small, unsettling incidents, horses acting strangely, lights flickering at odd hours, and eerie phone calls that Tai insists are nothing more than a coincidence. But as the season progresses, it becomes clear that these occurrences aren't random. Someone from Tai's past is watching. Tai's once quiet life in hiding is being disrupted by the very people he thought he'd escaped. These individuals, who once posed a deadly threat, are now intent on making sure Tai never fully reintegrates into his old life. The danger is very real, and it's beginning to seep back into the heart of Heartland. As the tension builds, Tai's guilt grows. He wants nothing more than to repair the damage he's caused, but the threat he once thought was over has now resurfaced. There's no way to undo the years he lost, but he's determined to keep his family safe, even if it means making more sacrifices. Yet, with each passing day, the pressure intensifies, and Tai's resolve begins to weaken. Should he run once again to protect the ones he loves? Or should he stand firm and face the danger head-on? The family is not blind to the changes occurring. Jack is the first to notice the signs of something darker lurking on the horizon. His protective instincts kick in as he senses that something is wrong, something deeper than just the emotional turmoil they're all facing. But even Jack doesn't have all the answers, and the more Tai tries to keep the truth buried, the more the cracks in his story start to show. Lou, ever the realist, becomes increasingly frustrated by Tai's refusal to fully open up. She's tired of the secrecy, tired of waiting for the truth. For the first time in a long time, Lou questions her brother's loyalty. Can they really trust him when he refuses to be transparent about the dangers he's facing? With each new revelation, the stakes grow higher. The past that Tai fought so hard to leave behind is catching up with him, and it's dragging his family into the storm. As the danger intensifies, Amy finds herself torn between love and fear, between the desire to heal and the realization that the man she once knew might be forever changed. She is no longer the woman who could rely on Tai to fix everything. She has built a life on her own, with her daughter, and now, as Tai's enemies circle closer, she questions whether her family can survive the truth that is slowly coming to light. This is not just a story of a family reunion, it's a story of confronting the past and the scars it leaves behind. The answers Tai gives aren't enough, and the unresolved mysteries only deepen the chasm between him and the family he tried to protect. What does the future hold for Heartland? And how much more will they lose before the truth is finally revealed? As the season builds to its climax, the pressure mounts on Tai. The more he tries to shield his family from the past, the more his secrets threaten to unravel everything he's worked for. Heartland, once a place of healing and comfort, is now a battleground where trust is in short supply, and every move Tai makes is scrutinized. The quiet sanctuary they once knew is crumbling beneath the weight of betrayal, and with every new cryptic warning Tai receives, the fear deepens. Tai's internal battle becomes impossible to ignore. He's a man caught between two worlds, the family he loves and the danger that still stalks him from his past. As the threats grow more intense, Tai realizes that there's no way out of this. The past he tried to escape has a way of clawing its way back into the present, and the safety of the people he loves is no longer guaranteed. Every attempt to keep them in the dark only increases the feeling that he's pushing them further away. Amy, once his greatest ally, is now a stranger in many ways. She's spent years learning how to survive without him, and though there's still love between them, it's not the same. Her trust in him has been shattered, and no matter how many times he tries to explain, she cannot forget the years of pain and confusion he caused. Ty's return, rather than healing old wounds, has only reopened them. She's forced to face the reality that the man she thought she knew is not the same. The woman she's become, strong, independent, and protective, is a far cry from the girl Ty left behind. Amy's struggle to reconcile the man she once loved with the stranger before her is heartbreaking, and each conversation with him brings more questions than answers. The emotional toll is overwhelming. Every day, Amy questions whether the cost of having Ty back in her life is worth it. She loves him, there's no denying that, but she's also terrified of being hurt again. The past looms large, and the more she tries to look forward, the harder it becomes to escape the shadow of what happened. Ty's secrecy only fuels her suspicions, and as the stakes get higher, Amy is forced to make a decision. Will she hold on to the love they once shared, or will she walk away, choosing her own peace and safety over the chaos he brings? Meanwhile, the threat from Ty's past is no longer a distant fear. It's here, and it's coming for them all. The once quiet warnings escalate, and strange events at the ranch become harder to ignore. At first, it's just little things. A feeling of being watched, strange sounds in the night, a missed phone call that Ty refuses to discuss. But soon, the danger becomes all too real. Someone is closing in, and they're not stopping until they've taken everything Ty holds dear. The stakes are no longer about a man trying to make up for lost time with his family. They're about survival. Ty, always the protector, finally admits to the family that the past he's been hiding is darker than anyone imagined. It's not just a threat to him, it's a threat to everyone at Heartland. Those who once followed him in his earlier dangerous life are now on his trail, and they won't stop until they've taken their revenge. Ty's years in hiding were not just about protecting his family. They were about keeping them safe from the very people who are now hunting him down. The realization hits hard. No matter how much Ty wants to make things right with Amy and the family, he cannot escape the consequences of his actions. Jack, though still deeply hurt by Ty's betrayal, steps into the role of protector once again. The patriarch knows that, in order to protect what they've built, he must put his own emotions aside and focus on the family's safety. Jack's instincts as a grandfather and father are put to the test as he takes charge in an effort to defend Heartland from the looming danger. But even he knows that the situation is dire. The danger is real, and this time, they may not be able to escape it. The family's once solid bond is tested to the breaking point. Lou, whose pragmatism has always been her strength, finds herself caught between loyalty to her family and the overwhelming need to protect Amy and Lindy. Her worry for her sister grows with each passing day. Lou's instincts tell her that Ty may not be telling the whole truth, but she can't bear the thought of losing Amy to the chaos again. She must find a way to reconcile the man she's always known with the man who seems so distant now. But as the danger from Ty's past closes in, Lou realizes that the real question is not whether they can trust Ty, but whether they can trust each other. As tensions reach a boiling point, the danger becomes all-consuming. The once safe haven of Heartland is under siege, not by the wild forces of nature, but by a past that refuses to stay buried. With the family torn between loyalty and fear, the future of Heartland itself is hanging in the balance. Can they survive the storm that Ty's return has brought? Or will the consequences of the past prove to be more than they can bear? Every decision they make from here on out will define the future of the family. The walls are closing in, and the reckoning is coming. It's not just about the secrets Ty has kept, it's about the sacrifices they'll have to make to protect the ones they love. As the season reaches its heart-stopping finale, the Heartland family is faced with an impossible choice: protect the future or salvage what's left of their fractured past. The storm that has been brewing throughout the season is now upon them, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Each character is forced to confront their deepest fears, and with time running out, they must decide what they're willing to sacrifice to keep the ones they love safe. Ty has never been one to back down from a fight, but this time, the fight is different. The danger from his past is not just a shadow hanging over them. It's a full-blown threat, one that will stop at nothing to destroy everything Heartland stands for. He knows that the time for running is over, the moment of reckoning has arrived, and he's not about to let anyone else pay the price for the mistakes he made. But no matter how hard he tries to shield his family, the harsh reality is that there's no way to undo the damage caused by his years of silence. Amy, who has already been through so much, now faces the most heart-wrenching decision of her life. She can't deny the love she still feels for Ty, but with the past looming over them, she wonders if they can ever truly find peace together. Her heart is torn between the life they could have had and the life she's built on her own, a life that no longer depends on Ty. Amy's internal struggle reaches its breaking point in the finale, as she realizes that no matter how much she loves him, some wounds run too deep to heal. The fear of losing her family once again is too great, and the possibility of sacrificing her own happiness for the sake of Ty's redemption weighs heavily on her. The tension between them is palpable, and in a final, emotional confrontation, Amy and Ty must face the truth. The bond they shared will never be the same. No amount of apologies or promises can erase the years that have passed. Amy's strength has grown, and she no longer needs Ty to define her. The woman she's become is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, but it also means that the path forward is uncertain. She must decide whether to let go of the past and find her own way forward, or whether to try and rebuild what has been lost, knowing it may never be the same. Jack, who has carried the weight of his own regrets throughout the season, finally comes to terms with the fact that forgiveness does not mean forgetting. He has to let go of the anger that has kept him from fully embracing Ty's return, and in doing so, he becomes the pillar the family needs in their darkest hour. Jack's role as the family's protector has never been more vital. In the face of looming danger, he is the one who holds them all together, reminding them that the love they share is more important than any past mistake. But even Jack knows that this goodbye, when it comes, will be a bittersweet one. The past cannot be erased, and some wounds take longer to heal than others. As the danger Ty feared so much closes in on the ranch, the family must come together to face the threat head-on. Their unity is tested as never before, and they realize that the only way to survive is to put their differences aside and fight as one. The stakes are not just about protecting Heartland, they are about protecting each other. But the threat is far more dangerous than any of them anticipated. A final, explosive confrontation sets the stage for an unforgettable conclusion. And as the family faces their enemies, the cost of survival becomes clear. Not everyone will make it out unscathed. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Heartland is forever changed. The family has endured, but not without sacrifice. Ty, the man who once seemed invincible, must face the consequences of his actions, knowing that the road to redemption is not always a straight path. The emotional toll of his return and the impact it has had on everyone is undeniable. The love between him and Amy may never be fully repaired, but they have both come to understand that sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go. As the final scenes unfold, the future of Heartland remains uncertain. The family has been tested like never before, and the wounds they carry will take time to heal. The quiet moments they once shared, those moments of joy and peace, may be lost forever. But in the end, the Heartland family proves that their love, though battered and bruised, is unbreakable. The goodbye, though painful, marks the beginning of a new chapter, one that will be defined by survival, strength, and the painful but necessary process of moving forward. In this gut-wrenching finale, Heartland bids farewell to the past, but it also finds a way to move beyond it. The final goodbye is not just the end of a season, it's the end of an era and the beginning of something new. A bittersweet end, yes, but also a testament to the power of family, love, and the unyielding desire to protect the ones we hold dear.